What's up, guys? I got the dead cat installed, but I'm not sure if you'll hear me now, if you'll hear me better, or if you'll hear me worse, or if you'll hear me all the same. I have no clue. But hopefully you can still hear me and make out what I'm saying. Because I'm stoked right now. I am so stoked. Because I got a call. Well, a text. Hey, man. Weather's looking good today. I don't have anything else planned. Why don't you come down and test drive my 96 Suzuki VS 1400? And don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'm all about that shit. I've driven this awesome bike for about 4 years now, 3 or 4 years, probably for like closer to 4 years, but I'm ready to move up. And move up I intend to do. I'm going down to the south side, and I'm gonna have me a fucking ball. So I charged the GoPro up while I was at work, and right after I found out. So I was like, hey, there ain't no way I'm gonna have my battery die on me during this. So, you know, I'm fairly new to moto vlogging, and I'd like to get an actual review of this bike. I'd like to start doing bike reviews. That'd be so badass. Like Chase has his first rides with that Mountain Motorsports place down in Georgia. You know, that's an awesome relationship to establish, but you know, I'm nowhere near the videographer Chase is. That bike is there all the time. I never see it move. I feel so bad for it. Especially because I see it in the rain all the time. Yeah, dick itches. By the way, there's no subtle way to either pick your nose or scratch your dick or adjust your junk on a motorcycle. There's just no way to do it. So you might as well just lose all your shame. Lose all feelings of shame. So while I'm on the way down here, it's going to be a little minute for me to get to where I'm going. I was talking about bikes that I'd like to do myself earlier. This is going to be the definitive experience that I'm going to use to define whether or not I want to get a 1400 intruder. And of course I want to get a 1400 intruder. The only thing is, I'm very, very, very limited by my budget. I mean, shit, I have to sell this thing first. This guy is being kind enough that he knows that I can't buy this bike today, but he's still letting me test ride it. I don't have any cash in hand. And he's just like, yeah, come and test ride it. And I'm like, shit, you're awesome, dude. I mean, yeah, my bike is up for collateral, but if I like it enough where I wouldn't mind trading, and I know he doesn't want to trade, but I'd be like, shit, you can take my bike if I crash it, which I'm not going to do, obviously. I would never do that. I love these bikes too much, especially because they don't make them anymore. They're just going to get harder and harder to find, which is a shame because they're brilliant machines. It doesn't matter that they're based off of 80s technology. They were perfect and they don't need fixing. Fuel injection? Fuck it. Learn how to tune a carburetor and learn a thing or two. Fuel injection just complicates things. That and it just I don't really trust bikes with computers. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, all the new sports bikes, I think they're awesome. That R1, love the way the front end looks. There's a few things I'd change, but, you know, I love the new super sports and all that stuff. I don't see myself buying one, but they're badass. But, you know, they have computers and shit, and it's just like, in my experience with cars and all that, computers are so subject to fail, it's not even funny. Like, I think there was a huge recall of Harleys like last year or something, where ABS, whatever, and there was a recall where the computer would detect. There was like a short in the computer somewhere, and it was basically like, you know, you'd be riding along like normal, and then all of a sudden the brakes just would like go fuck, and then you just like, they would lock up without you even having any brake input, and then it would just fucking ruin ruin your day and or life. That's a very hearsay sort of version of what actually happened. I didn't actually read too much into it. All I heard was that there was an ABS problem and it was causing people's brakes to lock up for no reason sometimes, and I was like, fuck, that sounds horrifying, like absolutely horrifying. All right, some louder Harleys. One thing I've always wanted to do to this intruder is I've always wanted to straight pipe it, and this one has, these bikes come stock with exhaust on both sides, and I would not want to eliminate that. I've grown accustomed to it and I love it very much. I don't like bending a pipe underneath the frame. It just seems pointless to me. And as badass as these things sound straight piped, I think the 1400s sound way better when they're straight piped. But my whole thing about straight piping is I would need to add like a Thunder Monster baffle so I wouldn't lose my low end power and all that. And I'd be worried about jetting. I think if you do it on a 1400, you definitely have to rejet. The 800 here is it's probably one of the few bikes out of the factory that you can just adjust the fuel air mixtures and you'll be alright. As long as you keep the stock air boxes. By the way, if you're as much a fan of the intruder bikes as I am, you need to sign up at intruderalert.com, because it's probably one of the most helpful motorcycle forums I've seen anywhere online to date. They're filled with people who know a lot about these bikes, and you get answers pretty quickly. So if you've got one of these bikes or want to learn anything about these bikes, definitely go there. Hey, Scooter. See that? He didn't wave. Scooter guys are dicks, dude. I swear. What's going on, dude? Cool bikes all the same. I love bikes. They're all neat in their own way. We're getting close, getting stoked. What? Oh, it's just a tracker. I'm totally not a brand whore for Suzuki products, okay? I promise. I've got a tracker. I don't think he actually thinks he's fancy for owning a tracker. Don't you talk to me. Oh, worthless tracker, can't even flip a light. How do you even see behind you through that thing, man? Thank God. Fuck. Oh, you're burning oil.
Later.
Alright guys, I just got finished test driving that bike. Boy, oh boy, do I love it. I don't think there was anything on that bike that disappointed me. That can't be fixed. Of course, by me. I would say that the 6,000 miles that are on it is definitely accurate. Everything is in great condition. There's a few minor flaws, but what bike from 1996 right now doesn't have that? You know, I was just talking to the guy for a while. Great guy. I love talking to him. Oh man, he's got some cool stuff too. He first, I didn't even look at the bike as soon as I got there. He told me we were just talking before I even saw the bike, and he was like, "Hey man, I got a Volkswagen Trike right over there." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we went to go. We checked under the tarp that he had, because it's not running right now. It's not in the greatest of condition. The body, the fiberglass body, looks like it's painted beautifully. All the controls are really unique looking. I mean, I know there's V-dub trikes out there, but this one looked different, and I genuinely really liked it. A little bit too much body for me. I like the sort of chopper style, but tell you what, the thing had a gorgeous Springer front end and everything. So I felt pretty stupid. That whole time during that test ride video, I was just like fucking with the turn signals. I was like, how do you turn these motherfuckers off? And then as I'm pulling in the guy's driveway to return it to him, I click it in. It turns out there's a button on the actual switch assembly, and I was like, oh. So every time that I was turning it off, I was only turning it off by accident. But I tell you what, man, I want that bike. I want it bad, and I want to put a lot of money into that bike, because it is a great machine. Man, that is gorgeous. So one thing I miss about going this way home every day is the beautiful river in the city of Richmond, which you can't see there. If I was a little further that way, you'd be able to see the city. But yeah, man, I'm so glad. I'm super happy that guy let me test drive his bike. $6 grand on the odometer. It's got a great history, much of it admittedly sitting. But you know, he starts it up every now and then. Doesn't really get ridden, but he starts it up so he doesn't need to winterize or fog it or anything like that. Super nice guy. Talked to him for quite a bit about just different stuff bike related. Really glad that he's the one who owns that bike and not your typical Craigslist dickhead. And you need to fucking speed the hell up. Although we are going to a red light, so whatever. I need to speed the fuck down. But that's the thing about this 800, man. It's fucking... You want to go. And I know every one of you guys in the sport bike crowd probably watching this are just like laughing your balls off right now. Yeah, whatever. I don't know how much you pay in insurance, but this thing for me is $15 a month for damn near full coverage. So, blocking all the haters. One thing I regret about that review is that I did not park it right next to my bike. I wanted to get a picture, or at least get the full scale of just how different these bikes are, despite how similar they look. You definitely feel like you're sitting on a whole different beast. You're higher off the ground than you are right here. Now, for a tall guy, for me, that actually was not a bad thing at all. I kind of liked that. And it was good to know, because I was, you know, one of the first things I was thinking about doing with it was suspension. I was thinking about actually lowering the bike by about an inch. And the front and the back, just swapping in some progressive fork springs and then some progressive 412s in the back. But the suspension on that thing felt really nice. Maybe it's just because it's stock and hasn't seen anything, like some serious usage. But absolutely, those are my afterthoughts about that. This whole area smells like peaches. That is a delight. That was weird. It's gone now. I just smell gas. I'm kind of really envious of how much better that thing brakes than this thing does. This bike will teach you how to engine brake. You know, that other bike is really technically only about 50 pounds heavier. Probably one of the lightest big V-twins out there. Today has been a very awesome, eventful day. Not work-wise, but oh my god, bike-wise. Got to go a few further miles than my typical commute. And I got to ride the bike I've been wanting for years. Oh. It didn't disappoint. Pretty happy about that. Anyways, I'm gonna go home and take a dump. See you guys later.